Hello and welcome. Before we begin, we'd like to take a brief moment to share an important disclaimer. The views, opinions, and statements expressed on the Rascals Lounge podcast are solely those of the host and guests and do not reflect the views of any organization, employer, or sponsor. This podcast is provided as is and is intended solely for informational and entertainment purposes. Discussions on this podcast may include topics such as politics, vaccines, the pharmaceutical industry, professional sports, esports professionals and organizations, content creators, music, medicine, law, science, psychology, herbal medicine, supplements, cannabis, nicotine, alcohol, religious leaders, faith-based beliefs, and other related subjects. All commentary is based on publicly available information, personal experience, or personal opinion. Any references to public figures, political parties, politicians, athletes, organizations, religious groups, or individuals, living or deceased, are opinion-based and are not intended as factual claims or statements that could harm reputations. No content on this podcast is meant to defame, discredit, or negatively impact the reputation of any person, group, political party, religious faith, or entity. The host and guests expressly disclaim all liability for defamation, libel, slander, or any misinterpretation of the views expressed. This podcast does not provide professional advice of any kind. Comments or discussions involving doctors, scientists, psychologists, attorneys, athletes, religious leaders, politicians, or other professionals, including those related to health, training, injuries, performance, the pharmaceutical industry, herbal remedies, supplements, cannabis, nicotine, alcohol, vaccines, or alternative treatments, are intended for general informational purposes only. Listeners should never start, stop, or alter any medication, treatment plan, religious practice, legal action, financial decision, or substance use based solely on content heard on this podcast. Always consult with a licensed professional or qualified advisor in the relevant field before making any decisions related to health, law, religion, finance, or lifestyle. The host and guests make no representations or warranties regarding the accuracy, completeness, or suitability of the information presented, and disclaim all responsibility for errors, omissions, or outcomes resulting from the use of this content. The podcast and its content are provided as is, without any express or implied warranties of any kind. By listening to, reading, or otherwise accessing this podcast, you acknowledge and agree that the Rascals Lounge podcast, including its host and guests, shall not be held liable for any interpretations, actions, or consequences resulting from the content of this program. We strongly encourage all listeners to think critically, do their own research, and form independent judgments before acting on any topic discussed. Listener discretion is advised. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Rascals Lounge podcast.
Finally, Abbie, we got you on.
Yeah, it's been a while. We've been talking for over a year now, no?
Yeah, we have, and I was meaning to get you on the podcast. Ever since Wild even followed me on Twitter, and a lot of the players, and even you as well, and I was like, okay, what does she do? So you were like in working in the corporate section with Wild, right?
Sort of. I was kind of in the middle between players and management because I was the community manager for a while.
Hmm.
Do you know what a community manager does?
No, I have no clue. Explain
yeah.
to the listeners what a community
Right.
manager
So,
does.
10 years ago, community management wasn't a thing. No, it wasn't even a real job yet. A lot of it fell under social media management. It was like, replying to people, talking to community, making sure like questions get answered, people get in touch, like people feel like they're in touch with organizations. I've been doing this for 10 years now, over 10 years. I started in an esports journalist blog and basically connected the streamers from that blog to the people who ask questions on the blog articles. It was kind of like a mix. It was like embedded streamers with journalists writing about esports. And basically, I asked the owner of that what kind of job I could do that does exactly that, interact with community, all that. And he was like, well, I think there's something called community management, but I don't know if it's real or not. Like, I don't know if it's like a real job you can like get into later on. And at some point it did become a job, which is actually really cool. He kind of predicted it. Basically what you do, a lot of organizations are too small to have a separate community manager, so they just put all the duties into the social media manager. Discord made it kind of easier to become a community manager because Discord is kind of the starting point for all CMs to basically start in their career journey, get their experiences. You have everything. You have a ticket system built in. You have like admin restrictions and admin rights and role changes and everything that you can do. You have a system in Discord nowadays where you can just connect all your social media channels, which means you can have tickets on say Facebook, and you can answer them in Discord. So you have like this whole built-in system nowadays. So I think Discord actually really helped me out a lot there. I've also been an event hype squad member for Discord at some point. And I think they also kind of taught me how to become a community manager in a better way, because the event hype squad members are the people that wear Discord t-shirts on events and just go to people and start talking to them. So they kind of help you socialize in a way where you didn't think you would ever do that. Like, if you told me 15 years ago that I would like start myself going out to people and like talking to them and telling them like, hey, here's a QR code, scan it in, get Discord, I wouldn't have said, oh, definitely not happening. I was always a very shy person. So the fact that I'm now like an extrovert and just like chatting away and basically helping people out and like going out of my way to talk to people and make sure that they're happy and all of that, hosting events, stuff like that. I think it's kind of incredible, like that you can just like develop in such a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're saying 15 years ago. Aren't you 20?
Oh,
You looked so young.
now 27.
Oh,
So I'm on the end of my
oh,
20s.
you're still in your 20s. You're young.
Yeah. But I mean,
Wow.
I've been doing that job since 16, you know, so
Wow. That's amazing. Good for you. I'm happy that Wild recruited you back then. I mean, it, I bet that helped you out a lot. Were you able to get in contact with Usain Bolt by any chance?
no. Usain Bolt did visit the Wild office, but that was before my time. I believe from the people I know, Corey was the one who met Usain Bolt in person. I think they have pictures together. But in my time in Wild, I was never in Ireland myself at that time. Obviously, I spent a lot of time in Northern Ireland because of Pack Bowl. But Ireland was just like a drive-by stop for me every time. So I never visited the Wild office myself.
Oh, you never have?
Nah, we just never got to it. The headquarters look really cool, and we had like internal calls, and Lorraine, love Lorraine, by the way. She's also a part of the NEC, the National Esports Center in Ireland and Cork. And she basically showed me around with the webcam, you know, like all the buildings and how they're being constructed. It was actually really sick. Like the whole
Wow.
process from a drawing to it being finished in person was actually quite nice.
That's awesome. Now you just basically your job, you were just working from home, basically, right?
Yeah, I was a remote worker. I think community
Okay.
management is one of those jobs that you can do remote, and I wouldn't want to do it any other way, to be honest. Like sitting in an office, you're basically on your own, right? You have like programmers, they work together, they discuss things together. You have marketing, they work together, they do things together. But like as a CM, you maybe have the social media manager, and that's it. That's like your team that you can talk to and communicate with. So it's a lonely job sometimes.
Wow, I bet. I bet. Wow. And how was it you were able to take time for yourself to even stream? Because I mean, you're also a streamer. I mean, you be gaming some good content out there.
Well, nowadays I don't really have the time to stream with my current job. As I mentioned to you in private, I do influencer management now, or like influencer marketing, which takes up a lot of my time because I'm basically working for 3 different time zones. So start in the morning, talk to the Chinese team, and then over the day I obviously work in the German region, and then at nighttime I also like if I have US campaigns, and I'm also like doing US campaigns. So there's not much free time to stream. Right now, I have days off. That's the only reason why I'm like online. I try to squeeze in an hour or two at night times, but for example, I had like a 3-month hiatus. With Wild, obviously, it was only part-time. So I had the time to do things and to enjoy myself and go to events even. You know, I went to the Manchester Major, went to the Copenhagen Major, whatever else was out there. Berlin Major, just Europe. I didn't leave Europe, but
Oh, that's awesome. So they would provide that for you to go to the majors
um,
and
Wild did, yes. The Manchester Major, for example, I basically also brought some stickers and some goodies, and then like just
yeah.
threw them at people. Made sure everyone wore their jerseys because we also had content creators at Manchester who
Mm.
were doing content also for Wild. Titanium Rolo at the time and Alicia were also both in Wild at the time. So I was just kind of like walking around, making sure that they knew that they had someone to come to if they needed it. Thankfully, they didn't. Obviously, Ubisoft is a great supporter for the content creators, so they didn't need me. And at Manchester, I also played on stage. That was pretty cool. In the Wild
Really?
jersey. And
How was that experience?
it's very warm. I can't lie. Like the lamps all going on you. I did not think about that, but I was very sweaty.
My makeup. My
No, it wasn't
makeup.
even that. It was just like I don't know. It was like really warm. It was like red in the face. There's like one picture of me, and I had like freshly made lips, right? So I couldn't smile. So in all my
Yeah.
pictures, I just kind of looked like I was just like doing the duck face, like.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
The face.
so and the cameraman, they're obviously like, okay, when you killed something, just be really hype about it, like cheer
Yeah.
or something. I'm like, yeah.
Show some emotion, like
Yeah.
yeah.
And then it's like
The fist pump.
Botox. Like I
Yeah.
can't move my eyebrows. I was like,
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't know. I can imagine the players under that heat.
you should see like the finals, they're sitting there for 5 hours under these
Yeah.
lamps. I don't think there's air conditioning. And also the whole, like in Manchester, I don't think there was air conditioning at all.
Oh my
There was like
gosh.
one side door that they could open for air. So
I
that
heard
was
something like
stinky.
that.
Yeah, it was
I heard
stinky.
about that. That was really hot,
Mm.
and people were complaining, "Where's the AC?" That's crazy. Wow. Well, at least you had the opportunity. Do you miss it?
The stage?
Yeah. Well, stage and being,
I mean, I'm still involved in esports, just not in Siege right now. I'm
yeah.
currently like watching the Race to World First and World of Warcraft. I am a huge supporter of Method. And I'm also a
Okay.
guide writer for Method in my spare time. So I'm still involved in esports in a way, but now it's an esports that is a little different. Obviously, it's not a competitive FPS game. It's a strategic kind of game. It's actually
Yeah.
really interesting. But
Now
yeah,
that look.
I'm still involved. So
So you're a writer as well
a
what
guide
company?
writer for Method.
For Method. Wow. Jeez, you have more titles than a doctor.
Things.
You got a lot. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how you have spare time to even to talk to me. That's crazy.
That's why it took us a year, right?
I know, it took us a while. I cannot believe it. Wow. Now I understand. You got a lot on your plate. Of course, you're gonna have to do this remote.
Yeah.
And well, the good thing is that as far as I'm gathering what you're doing, you don't probably have to worry that AI is going to take over your job because you got a lot.
I'll just get another, like one of my other categories. But I think community management is something I could always fall back to if AI takes over, just because it's like a people involving job. I think AI is not really great at like replicating human emotion and like all this
Correct.
empathy and everything. So I think I'm good for now. Once AI does learn how to do empathy and things like that, I will definitely be scared. But I
Yeah.
hope by then, AI takes everyone's job and it's not just me. So
Yeah. Wow. Now, was it really hard to transition to say goodbye to Wild?
actually not really. I can't lie. As I said, I was very remote and I didn't really talk too much to everyone else.
Mm.
And there was a little drama involved. I can't really get into details, but it was like,
Yeah.
it was not the best time to be in esports in general. I mean, I believe that at that time, Pac-Ball was also like kicked out of Wild.
Who's okay? I know Pac-Ball.
He is still a player. He's in Geek K right now.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's great.
Okay. Man, that's yeah, it's kind of a bummer when you're with a company or whichever job you're in and things go kind of sour when you leave.
It wasn't really
Yeah.
like I still have a lot of love for the management. I'm a huge fan of Steve. Um,
Yeah. But
but
was it like in a hype in the COVID era moment or no?
no, it was already past COVID.
Past COVID. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was like what 3 years ago. COVID was 2019, so
Yeah.
way past COVID. But it was just not a great time for anyone. I think there was a lot of drama in the Siege team in general, and
I think there was drama all over the place. I think not even for EU. There was drama with NA teams and a lot of orgs and a lot of players. There's so much stuff, and then
yeah, a lot of
I mean,
stress in that
oh
category.
yeah, it's a lot. I don't even know how some of these players stick with it. Some just, a lot of them, just decide to retire, or they just, dedicate entirely to content creation and just stream, do videos, do YouTube, TikTok, etc. It's not easy. A lot of people think that being involved in esports is going to be it's going to be fun and dandy and it's going to be easy because it's about gaming. It's a lot more to it than anything.
Yeah, it's basically you're very easily replaceable and you're very quickly out of a job if something goes wrong. So it's a very high stress environment. Also, careers are super short. I believe Virtue was probably the oldest player before his retirement. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like 30, 32-ish max before your career is done. So I get why there's a lot of drama and stress around. There's like very high, like very short fuses, I would say.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it is true. I usually tell a lot of these players that I get to meet, I say, listen, you just don't know when you're gonna get dropped. You don't know. I know you're working basically on eggshells. If
Yeah.
anything, any mistake you make, you're gonna get kicked or dropped. Um, I said, always think about the future. Think about what you could do ahead because you just never know. If you have a good, decent following on Twitch, stick to it. Build it up. Take advantage. Build it up. One player that's doing a really good job is like Bolo. Bolo, with all the drama that happened with TSM, guess what? He has a very big, massive following on Twitch, and he could, handle himself and make good money. He still make good money while streaming and doing content creation. But yeah, you're right. There's a lot of drama. There's like so much freaking stuff that goes on, and you just don't know what goes behind the scenes, and it's crazy because the only few people, some people will know, but they got to keep it quiet, or they're under contract, NDAs. You can't say anything. But yeah, did other organizations reach out to you, or do you reach out to other
Mm,
organization after that?
I mean, after Wild, I completely left esports as an industry. It's just basically before Wild, I was in Vexed.
Mm-hmm.
Vexed Gaming, I think they were mostly known for their Apex Legends team. They had like really great players. Matafe was one of them. He's like a huge name in Apex. And even Vexed shut down because of lack of funds. So esports in
Wow.
general is just an extremely fragile place right now. I don't know if you've seen what's happening right now in the world. For example, the Epic layoffs, like the gaming industry is basically dying in a sense. Interest in gaming is going back.
Hmm.
So I decided to kind of take a safe route and basically go into like the management side of things, something a little
Yeah.
more safe, agency life. Right now, like my job is incredible. I work with a fantastic team of people. They have like so much experience. My boss, like shout out to my boss, Olga. She is the most incredible person I've ever met. Like she has so much experience that she gives to me, and it's just like a whole different environment like compared to esports. In esports, everyone is like kind of like no one has a clue what they're doing. No one studied
Yeah.
esports, you know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
all just came
Sure.
from different places and then just put together into an esports organization because we had like a passion for gaming. But that also means that a lot of things that in the beginning there was like the hype and people started like following organizations for winnings, and now everything's just money. Money is the talker. Sponsorships are basically the game changer. Everything gets franchised right now. So you have to buy your spot instead of earning it. And it kind of just like loses the passion for a lot of people. So a lot of people just stop playing competitive games because of that. Because to them, there's like no career chances. Back then, you start playing, you get good, you eventually get into a team if you're like incredibly good at a game, and then at some point you can play your way up. Nowadays, everything's franchised, so the way to get in is connections.
Correct.
It's a really rough industry. Even the gaming industry itself, like gaming studios have the same issue.
Really?
Where everything is like going back, interest is coming down, the hype of COVID, where everyone was online, it's all
Yes.
slowly getting back to where it used to be. I believe mobile games are the only ones that are still growing. Everything else is kind of like slowly
Fading out.
decreasing. And that's why the gaming industry is kind of a dangerous place to get yourself into. I don't know what it's like for artists or developers. They might have different stories, but even with AI, they're getting replaced too right now.
Correct.
So, yeah, that's why I encourage everyone who like starts in the gaming industry to look at managements like agencies, not the big AAA companies that you want to like that. Like basically when I started studying, I wanted to go to Blizzard. Blizzard was like my main thing. When I was 12 years old, I played World of Warcraft. I was in love with it. I started becoming a game developer. I studied game development, finished my first degree, realized that there's no freaking chance. Back then, Blizzard had like this huge scandal with, I don't remember, but someone got canceled in Blizzard and they lost so much. They didn't hire people at that time. And then I did other things, did the esports stuff, came back to Blizzard after my second degree. Still, they no chance to get in there, like absolutely airtight. And then I just kind of like got away from it because every single year you look at companies and there's like a whole different scandal with the company. People are getting laid off. Last year, I think, was it last year, 2 years ago, when Blizzard merged with Microsoft? Hundreds of layoffs. Epic Games right now, thousands of layoffs, literally this week.
Wow.
It's just a dangerous industry to be in. So
It is.
agencies are the safe route right now. Or organizations, if you want to do unpaid work, a lot of orgs are looking for unpaid interns. It's great for experience, but it's not great for your salary. I'll tell you that much.
Oh my gosh. That makes a lot of sense because I had JP on from Team Phase, a coach, and he was explaining to me the reason, why alleged why a lot of these organizations were dropping players left and right. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? You just got rid of your whole entire roster.
They
Like,
can't,
and
they
they just,
can't afford them.
yeah, that's what he was explaining. It's about the money. They can't afford them anymore. It was just like, I was in shock. I'm like, but if they're winning and they're doing good, why drop? And I understood that when Wild took the move to like to get out of Rainbow Six Siege, it kind of like hurt me. It stung. I was like, man, these are really nice players, but they gotta start winning. They have to win championships and win majors, or at least be in the top 3 to make some money. Because second place and third place, they make money as well. But if you're not making any money, they have to say goodbye, and I could understand that. But for other teams that are very well known that are doing good, for them to like, I mean, I was in shock. I don't know if you know about what happened to Chaiko. Chaiko left Falcons and went to G2. I'm like, wait.
I think you could have predicted that move because if you've been at the majors, like the Munich major, the Manchester major, you could tell that there was like something cooking in Shaiko. You know what I mean? Like
Something
he
was
was
off,
not
right?
happy.
Yeah.
Second place. It was literally like the Munich major was literally the same situation, the same teams against each other as the Manchester major. And I think something just kind of like they burned a fuse in his head or something because you could tell he was very unhappy.
He was, yeah.
And
Like I
Shaiko
said,
Shaiko, he can get anywhere. Like, he doesn't need to be
oh yeah, well, I mean,
in a
G2
team.
got him, so I know my good friend Doki, he's happy and they're just playing, having a good time, and G2 is a very good, strong organization. They're pretty solid. But yeah, it's so true. Seeing how esports is it's like fading down. I mean, I just couldn't grasp it. What is going on? And now seeing this coming to reality, I'm like, okay, it's about money. I don't was it that they got in I know TSM when that company went downhill because of the CEO or who owned it before got in some legal issues with Bitcoin and something like that, and then that was a big shocker. And I knew that some players were having difficulties going to other orgs, and they wanted to go to other orgs because they're expected the same pay rate, and the other orgs are like, "No, we can't pay you this much." I can't pay you the same amount that you were
Yeah.
getting paid with them. So
Siege
now
salaries are extremely low, at least from the people that I know. I know the
wow.
salaries of at least 5 orcs in the EML now. It's
Yeah.
not that great. Like, for considering how much effort and time they put into it, they play from like 8 to 12 hours a day.
Yes.
It's not like they deserve better, but I know that they can't afford better. You know what I mean? Like, the orcs are trying their best already, from what I heard, but
Yeah.
they can't do more than that. I've already seen like the biggest orgs in Europe, like slowly breaking down their costs, and basically some orgs, for example, they purchased whole apartment units to put their players in, and they stopped like renting out these units, for example, and like
Mhm.
they cut down on these costs, and the players have to move on their own because the rent was paid for them for some of the
Yeah.
big orgs. Like, stuff like that is just
The
if you
rent,
see
the
the
food.
big orgs struggling, that's when you know that the entire ecosystem is kind of rough.
Yeah, something is wrong. Something's going bad. Yeah, that was one of the things I even mentioned with JP. I said, "What about the team houses, game house, that the players get to stay?" And they go, "No, we closed it." It's like,
Yeah.
"What?" So, "Yep, they're closing down." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" He goes, "Yep." It is so shocking because you don't see this stuff, but you kind of notice there's something going on. And this year, I noticed it when Wild said goodbye to R6. I'm like, okay, something is going on, and it has to be. I'm sure it's 100% money. And then I'm seeing
Mm,
these rosters changes and changes here, and players going, leaving people that you would least suspect, going to other orgs or they just either retiring or just out. And I'm like, okay, most definitely this is something's going behind the scenes. And you're right, esports is very, I'd say, temporary. If you're in
yeah.
it, just enjoy it, do as much as you can. Um Try your best to get well known, do something with that money that you made. If you win a couple championships or whatever, save that money. Don't be going crazy buying a expensive car, which I know a lot do. And it's like, you got to think ahead. Got to think ahead because if this goes downhill, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Well, you played it safe. You're smart.
Honestly, a couple of years ago when I worked in I worked in an org for League of Legends, and
Mm-hmm.
basically someone once said to me, "You could have everything. You could have cloud chased your way to the top," and it kind of
Mm,
stuck with me because that's the goal for a lot of people. Just cloud chasing, getting lots of followers, all that, but it doesn't
correct.
get you any money. So what I started
True.
doing is networking, but behind the scenes. So I started befriending people, but without like the public knowing that I know these people. It helps me a lot with my current job. As with my current job, I now have all these connections,
Mm-hmm.
which is great, because I can make them money now. and in return they make me money. But I guess that's the safe way to do it. If you are in esports and if you're trying to like make this a career, you will just have to build business connections, not player connections or streamers. Because players and streamers, they're not going to help you anywhere. They can connect you to other people, but they themselves, they cannot bring you anything. And the way I got into Vex was friendship. Vex, the CEO of Vex is a friend of mine, or like a really great mutual nowadays. Like we haven't
Oh,
really
wow.
stayed in touch, but he was a friend. And he reached out to me when I posted saying I was looking for an org as a streamer back then. And he said, do you know how to build a Discord server? I can make you a community manager. And that's how I started joining Vex a couple years ago. Similar situation with Wild. When Vex shut down, Wild already knew me because I networked with them and they reached out to me. Um, but not everyone knows that because I reached out. I was talking to the marketing people, to the management people, to like the people behind the scenes, the people that make an org work. It's not the players. Sure, the players are the face. Like you don't know anything. You know Faker from SKT, but you don't know who manages Faker in SKT and who's the
Mm-hmm.
reason that Faker stays in SKT. Because players are not loyal to their organizations and players are not same with streamers. They do not care which org they represent usually. Like unless you're like a super hardcore fan that's been there since day one, usually you don't care as long as you get paid the right amount.
Correct.
So you need to befriend the people behind the scenes that structure the whole organization because they have been there for years. They have been in the right place. They know everyone that you need to know, and they are the ones that will pay your bills. So
Mm.
I guess the safe way in esports is just literally connect to the management, go to the behind the scenes people. Do not try to befriend streamers and players because they're usually very young as well. They're drama. Like
Yeah.
young people, the hormones are going crazy. I've noticed a lot of times. They just seek out drama, the competitive
Yeah.
spirits. I get it. But there's just so much beef in esports.
Oh,
And the way
yeah.
you stay out of it is by going to the right people, which are people who work office jobs, the
Correct.
managers. So yeah, I
So
guess I
true.
played it safe.
You did. You did. I even had my fair share with esports because I was with Wildcard at one time, and Wildcard I worked in communication and I was Twitch specialist for them, making sure the players were doing everything right while they were streaming and etc. Make sure they're doing everything by the book because if a player does something bad, it falls on the org. That spreads out all over the social media, and trust me, it spreads out in a minute. And the org doesn't want to be, you know, part of any type of drama. So I just keep an eye and just make sure everything was running good. I left the org and I left in good terms and everything. I said my goodbyes, and I was dedicating 100% to the podcast. But then I changed my podcast name from the Dr. VTech show to the Esports Lounge podcast. But the issue that I had is that I would try to bring more players from different games and communities to the podcast. And it was very, very hard because a lot of them, I'll talk to them or I'll chat with them. And I noticed like, man, this is a little kid. He's 19 years old, and I noticed it was getting kind of like difficult. So what I did was I rebrand and make it like a Joe Rogan that he brings everybody, and I'll keep on continue bringing friends that I know on gaming and content creation. Fine, perfect. So now I did that, and it just massively grew. So I really kind of understand that being stuck to only to esports is not going to grow like how I wanted it to. So I just I said I got to expand to other place. And now I bring everybody. I don't care. Now I could bring, and I changed it to the Rascals Lounge podcast. And anybody comes here, you're a rascal as well. So let's all have some fun.
It's a
Yeah.
great change.
Yeah, because I just being stuck to only the esports. It's not going to work. I felt in my heart it's not going to work something is going on with the esports industry and it's not sticking, it's not growing like I uh expect it to, and I just like, okay, I got to distance myself. I need to bring other people. I don't care who they are, what they do. Let's have good conversations, you know.
Right
So
approach.
yeah, just do it like that, because it's just like if you're stuck in one industry and that's it, let me tell you, I had difficulties bringing Apex players, pro players, had difficulty bringing uh counter strike players. It was hard.
It's
It
actually
was
funny
hard.
with the Apex Legends people because they are also kind of difficult to work with in general. It's a very, very specific, unique genre of
Mhm.
people, which is actually really funny because a lot of the people that I know from Apex Legends, they said the exact same thing. They were like, it's crazy difficult to work in this industry. So they branched out and now they're all VTubers. Uh, I don't know why they're all VTubers, but I thought it was really
Wow.
interesting that you mentioned Apex Legends specifically because it's like genuinely a very unique genre of gaming and content creation, and it's not just your point of view and opinion that it's hard to get them anywhere. It's hard to work with them as well.
Wow. So I'm not going crazy.
No.
You know who was actually that came on my podcast was and it was I thought it was going to be super difficult, but we became friends because through another friend was Summit 1G.
Yeah, he's a
And
cool guy.
very cool, very humble, and through a friend, he was playing with one of my friends, and I'm like, "Hey, that's my buddy there. You're playing with him?" And he's like, "Yeah." And we got to DM each other back and forth, and he followed me on X, and I followed him, and it was just like we just clicked, became good friends. And I told him, "Hey, you want to come on my podcast?" He said, "Sure, no, why not?" I said, "I'm not big and famous like you." He said, "I don't care about that."
Yeah, you can tell that he's been in this industry for a long, long time and has the
Very long,
experience. Yeah, he's like,
very long time.
he
He's
kind of grew into it. He's one of
Yeah,
the people that shaped the space as is as well.
yeah.
One of the OGs.
One of the OGs, but very humble OG.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the OGs are humble compared to like the new gens. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Well, there's some because there's some that I know in the Rainbow Six community that they're not. They're just that's my issue that I have with some that they're just completely very obnoxious and rude,
Beach
just
is special as
disgusting.
well. FPS
Yes.
games just bring out all that
I'm
testosterone.
like come on. Really? You're going to have this type of ego and all this stuff and but if I was Jinxie, oh, of course, they would wanna I seen and I and I even been on streams way back, let's say like 5, 6 years ago, when some people would ask certain content creators, certain streamer, I won't mention names, and say, "Hey, would you play with Jinxie?" And he was like, "Heck no, I would not play with that guy." And then after the Jinxie boom, he got super popular. What do I see? I see him playing with him. I'm like, "You're such
That's
a
always
hypocrite.
how it
You're
is.
such a freaking hypocrite." I want to just post it and like, dude, you're such a hypocrite. I wish I
Yeah.
would have clipped that moment that you said you wouldn't play with him, but now I see you like kissing the ring.
Yeah.
And so I want to take a quick moment and talk to you about Gamer Advantage eyewear. Whether you're gaming, working, or just browsing, with Gamer Advantage blue light blocking eyewear, they are expertly crafted for gamers or for anyone that's in front of a screen for long hours. Featuring Resme lens technology, these glasses are engineered to minimize digital eye strain and shield your eyes from the detrimental effects of blue light. Doctor recommended, potentially boost focus and significantly enhance sleep quality, ensuring you stay at the top of your game. Visit gameradvantage.com for more information and use promo code Rascals at checkout to get 10% off your purchase. I do earn a commission when you use the promo code, which helps sustain and grow the podcast. Once again, visit gameradvantage.com for more information and use promo code
RASCALS, Rascals at checkout to get 10% off your purchase.
He's to a point at his age that he's just like, he doesn't care about all this and, oh, I got to do this and become more and boost his ego or boost whatever. Nah, he's past that. Now I just like, he streams to have a good time. That's it. It's like I do this as for my hobby. You know, my career is in the medical field, so I like to
Oh,
save
interesting.
lives.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
I
did
li-
an internship when I was in school
Oh,
for
really?
the ER. Yes, I wanted to become an ER nurse and a paramedic.
Ooh,
And
those are the
then
best.
first week into my internship, a lady came in and her rib bone was sticking out of her chest, and I fainted, and that was the end of my career in
Oh
medical field.
no, you can't
Can't
faint.
see bones. Bones are my limit. Blood, sure.
Really?
Puke, I don't care. We had a guy with a really nasty, I don't even know, I can describe it, like a pus-filled wound. It was
Yes.
stinking up the whole place. No problem. I can clean that. But the bones, I don't know what's wrong with me, but the bones were it. And it's crazy if you think
Really?
about it, because teeth are bones. I don't know why I don't faint when
Yeah.
I see those. Yeah.
My goodness. Let me tell you something. ER nurses are badass. They're
Yeah,
the
that's
best.
I think honestly ER is such an, I don't know if it's just like I watch too many medical shows, but I feel like it's such an alive place. When I did my internship, I never had like a minute to sit on my phone or something. I was always running around doing stuff. It was always filled. The ladies always sent me from left to right, like go to room number 1, go to room number 4, like prepare this and prepare that. And I was like, living. I loved that. I don't think I could do it for like my whole life, like 12-hour shifts back to back to back. I think that's how the medical lifestyle is sometimes.
Yes, but you make your own schedule,
Hmm.
and it's 3 days a week.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. That's
I make my
right.
own schedule. They say, hey, you better put your schedule in. What do you want to work? Oh, okay, I'm going to work Sunday. I'm going to work Monday. I'll work Tuesday, whatever. Yeah, I'll make my own schedule. Forget that. So you make your
All
own
right.
schedule, but obviously there are 12-hour shifts. Done. And you got the rest of the week off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds kind of nice. Because right now I do
Yeah.
12-hour shifts, but every day.
Oh, yeah. No, not every day. That's not even legal. I mean, for other countries, I kind of highly doubt it, but here in the U.S., yeah, you pick 3 12-hour shifts and you make your own schedule. Now, you know what? You didn't have to necessarily stay in ER. You could have be pediatric.
I don't know. I think you also need to have a certain level of IQ, right? I don't think I would have gotten. I don't know I don't know how your grading system works, but for us, like 1.0 is the best of the best you could have, and 1.2 is what you needed to get into like a medical uni without waitlist. I had a 1.4, so I was smart, but book smart, but not very I'm not very street smart, but book smart for sure. I can like study things and like keep in my mind, and that's it. But 1.4 would have still like cost me multiple semesters of waiting list. So I got somewhere else. It's just too much thinking for me, I guess. I can't even think if I could remember all these. You have to learn so many things in medicine, right? Like you have to study the entire human body and everything that is there. It's kind of, I don't think I would be able to do
Yeah.
that.
Well, the thing is with the medical field, when it comes to nursing, all these new nurses, they're going to come in and they have to start all over again. What you learn is to pass those tests. That's basically it. You pass the test. But when you go in a hospital setting and you're working there, trust me, you're not going to remember what you just study. A lot of stuff, you're going to know the basics and the stuff that you're going to, trying to grasp. But what you learn is through experience.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of times when they ask how many years you have in nursing, that's what they are interested about. If you say, "Oh, I only have 2 years of nursing experience," and for them it's good, but they know that you're still on baby steps. you're still on that learning and growth. But if you say, "Oh, I've been a nurse for 8 years, 9 years, 10 years," they know that okay, she already got a grasp of things. She knows what she's doing. She's kind of good, Like what I do EKGs. I'm an EKG specialist.
Mm-hmm.
So look at rhythms, figure out what's going on with this patient's heart. When I got hired, I asked the other specialists as well. I asked them, I said, hey, listen, how long did it took you to grasp things? Because I know that it was getting hard. And they told me, about a year. I'm like, are you kidding me? A year? Not in a month or 2 months? He go, oh, heck no. You'll get good. Like here in a year, you'll get a grasp. I was like, gosh, a year. And let me tell you, a year passed and I was still learning. I'm still learning today, and I've been in this like for 4 years.
The human body is a mystery.
Yes. Everybody's condition is different. Everybody's heart is different. I mean, it just, some medications will react differently to you than it does to me. You could probably drink a Red Bull and your heart start showing crazy rhythms. Me, I could drink it and nothing would happen. It's just different. Everybody's, different. Wow, that's crazy. You were going to get into nursing, but you saw bones and that's it.
Yep, that's it. But I was also like kind of set on the game development, obviously, because of World of Warcraft. But I knew game developers need a lot of math, and I hated math, and I did it anyway. I don't know how I did it. I don't even know how I got accepted for it because my math degrees were horrible. So I don't know how someone looked at my degrees and was like, "Yeah, let's get her in, whatever. Like let her just figure it out." And somehow I made it. I got my whole degree. Like I'm actually surprised that I got it. Like I have a Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Arts. So
What?
I don't even know how I got the science one. The science one was just like pure luck, I think, because like I managed to kind of weasel my way through. But now it doesn't do anything because like I don't use it, so that was a waste of time. Couple years wasted and gone. There was a peak pandemic as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite game? Is it Rainbow or is it
World of Warcraft will always be. I love the lore. I love the art style. I know a lot of people will go and be like, what an old looking game. No, it's just unique looking. You know what I mean? Like it's such a
Yeah.
specific art style. I can't even describe it. It's like kind of comic-y.
Yeah.
Like because they write books and they have comic books and everything, so it makes sense for the art style to like represent it. But just the fantasy of it all, you have like night elves, you have like these freaking gorgeous Amazon like purple women that hunt you from the forest shadows. Then you have like orcs, typical, D&D like fantasy of Tauren. They're like gigantic cows that walk on their back hooves like people and can talk. And just stuff like that. Like you can be a human if you want. You can be absolutely fucking boring. Sorry. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Hey, this is
Absolutely
for everybody.
boring. And
yeah. No, you can cuss all you want. Go ahead, girl.
I'm not a fan of the Alliance, if you can tell. And yeah, you can be undead. You can be a zombie. I love the whole fantasy. You can just play something else. I'm kind of into these RPG games. They're very fun. I only started playing FPS games because of my friends, and I don't know why I started because I've never been good at them. I mean, what's my best rank can see just Emerald, like with a 0 point something KD. So I'm horrible at the game. I'm only playing it to keep up with the esports and everything. I liked it a while ago, but I feel like the community, especially because I probably have a different experience to you, because female voice, you talking game, you get absolutely blasted. I think half my Twitch content is just clips of me getting yelled at by guys. So World of Warcraft is kind of different because WoW has a 50% female gaming rate.
Oh, really?
One of the games with the highest female audience. So love it. Also, everyone's old. We all started playing in our friggin' like 15 to 20. So we're all like 25 to 35 right now. Even older. Like raid nights are basically, we start 20 minutes late because half the guys still have to put their kids to bed because they're all dads, It's actually really funny. We have guys who play with their children, and the children are like 16, the guys are like 50, and they're playing the same guild. It's so cute. Like, It's just such a different community compared to everything else, and
I
it's
gotta
just
try it
community as
out.
well. You should play it. You should. I don't know what the newcomer experience is. I know for Siege, newcomer experience is absolutely horrible because
Yeah.
huge learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
I remember how long it took me. I'm surprised I stuck with it. B, the newcomer queue is kind of the only thing you can do. No one talks in there, so you don't know what it's like to communicate. And then you get thrown into your comp game once you hit level 50, speak your first words, and then you get absolutely cussed out in 5 different languages. So Siege is great, but only great if you have a friend group, but you would need to bring the friends into the game or socialize. Another thing that would be great if you're a community manager, because then you can say, hello gang, I don't know what to do, and I want to play with people, can you help me? And then the community manager's like, absolutely, I'll make a play event, we'll all play together, let's go. So community management rules. And in World of Warcraft, it's like the whole thing is built to be social. You have guilds, which is like groups of people just hanging out with each other. They have their own chat. They do things together. You get achievements if you do things together. It's just so chill and social. And I think social games are just more fun. You don't have to be competitive if you don't want to. There's like so many different routes you can go. If you are absolutely not in the mood to play, you can just sit there AFK in the capital city and just text people, because there's like text chats that are like server wide.
Correct.
It's just a fun experience overall. And rating, obviously, 20 people that get stuck together and they schedule just times to play together for multiple days a week. It's kind of like a
Wow.
mini job, but I like it. It's like friends.
Yeah.
You force yourself to be friends with people, and it works because they're all the same thing. You all have the same interest, which is World of Warcraft. And because it's such a slow thing, in FPS, you need to listen to footsteps and you need to like pay attention, be super like alert. You don't have to do that in World of Warcraft. You can literally just have a conversation while you smash bosses for a few hours. And I think it's just such a chill experience. Right now, the race to world first, if you're more into the competitive side, I'm a huge Method fan, #GoOrange. And they are you just sit and chat with 8,000 other people who just like the same thing, and you just have a conversation, and it actually works to have a conversation. Siege chat is just like copy pastas, super boring. You can't talk there. You can like either join in or just like get lost in a copy pasta. World of Warcraft chats, everyone like talks to each other. It's kind of like a gigantic forum. It's actually really interesting.
Wow. When I think of World of Warcraft, it always comes Osmond Gold. That's why I always think,
we
because
are all ashamed that he's the representation for the game. I think
yeah,
Soda
it's like
Poppin would
that's
be
all I know,
great.
because that's what I saw on YouTube or the clips. I mean, he puts so much content out there.
Yeah, he kind of became the World of Warcraft meme with the cockroaches in his sink, I
Yeah, his
think.
craziness.
It's like
I
if
just
you're a
wonder
World
if
of
he
Warcraft
does that
player.
stuff on purpose.
I think he started out in unintentional, realized it gets some reactions, and then does it.
Correct.
I think nowadays he does it on purpose. I
Yeah.
don't know how he does it, because I don't think I could live with cockroaches just for content. You know what I mean? Like either he has to put them there, right? Like I don't know. I can't really imagine it. I would love to like gouge his brain, but I think he changed a little bit. He got better. Like now he like does he have a cleaning lady? I am not sure. I think I heard something like that, but his backgrounds look a lot less messy nowadays, which is good for him.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it stays that way and he doesn't get worse again. I don't know.
True. Well, who was it I think it was Kaisenet. Kaisenet,
Kaisenat,
or
yeah.
I don't think it was Sideshow Speed, but there was one of them had a mouse. I think it was Kaisenet. He was playing, or he was doing something, he was streaming. And this is his beginning when he started, into streaming, and a mouse came out of his closet and went back in.
No.
Everybody clipped that moment and clipped it and spread it. That spread out so massively worldwide that look at him now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I had a similar clip when my cat brought me a live bird into the house, and I had to chase it back out of my apartment.
Bird.
He like it wasn't injured or anything. He just grabbed it with his mouth and then released it in my apartment.
Oh,
And I don't know how people do it, because like the thought of an animal in my thing that I didn't bring in, like Toto, obviously he's a cat, he can stay here, but like bringing in another animal, like that freaks me out so bad. The amount of
yeah.
mice I had to chase out of my house again, because Toto doesn't harm the animals. He brings them in for me to like hunt them, you know what I mean? Because he thinks I'm a
Yeah.
horrible hunter, so he gives me all these live animals. Like I had one time, he brought me a mouse. The mouse got into my vacuum cleaner, died in the vacuum cleaner because I couldn't get it out again. It like just got stuck in there. My vacuum cleaner started stinking up the place. I didn't
Oh
find
my
the mouse. I had no idea where it was until one like next day I tried to turn the vacuum cleaner on, and mouse guts came out of my vacuum cleaner, and I had a mental breakdown. I was sitting on the floor crying for like 20 minutes, just like crouched there, and then Toto came in with another mouse. Comedic timing, really. Like he was great. I had such a nervous breakdown. I can't even think about, like, imagine living with these animals. Like I think they're so cute, honestly. Like mice are adorable, but like I can't. Like
Were you streaming at that moment when he brought that bird and
yeah,
the mouse?
the bird, yes. The mouse, I probably, but like I didn't notice on stream, at least. You know what I mean? Like I had so many of them. He brought me a mouse almost every day, and then I had to like put it in a glass and like put it back outside. And I lived in a nature reserve,
Okay.
so we had a lot of mice. And we had a lot
Yeah.
of mice, rats. Oh my god! One time he brought me a rat that was horrible. They are so big. I don't know what to do. Like I'm kind of squeamish when it comes to like animals. The amount of pigeons he brought me. Pigeons are bad. Pigeons. Did you know pigeons have fleas?
No.
They have fleas. So
What
every
the
time he
heck?
brought me pigeons, I had to get him to the vet to get like a full flea treatment. One time he fought a raccoon in my backyard.
My gosh.
One time he brought me a cat, another cat, like a kitten. He found a kitten, brought it to me, and then we had to rescue it. And then he beefed the kitten. Like he got mad at the kitten for getting my attention, but he brought it to us. You know what I mean? So
Correct.
that guy, really. But one time he brought my mom. My mom stayed over. Like she lived 2 hours away. Sometimes she would just drive over for the weekend, sleep over. And back then, I was one of those people that had like a bunch of mattresses stacked on the floor because I didn't like the bed frame. Because Toto would always go under the bed frame and just like Spider-Man crawl around, like onto the bed frame. So at some point, I got rid of the bed frame, put the mattresses on the floor. So my mom basically slept on the floor with me. And he put a mouse right next to her face, a dead one this time. And she woke up and
Oh my gosh.
she said, my mom had a mental breakdown. I had a mental breakdown.
Oh my god.
Everyone was screaming. 6 a.m. morning. Toto was like, what the hell? You guys are so ungrateful.
Yeah.
He was
I
like,
bet.
why is everybody yelling at me? Yeah, my mom was like, 6 a.m. She was driving back home. Like she put on her like clothes and she left. She was like, I'm never coming back. She came back the next weekend. But like, it was great.
Does she own a cat?
No, like she used to have cats, but she's not an animal person. I don't know why she ever got cats. She saw that I had a cat that I liked, and she was like, I want the same thing. So she got the siblings of my cat for a while, and then at some point she handed them over to people who were better, like able to take care of cats, because she was like always beefing one cat. One cat was like super pissy. Luna, I think was her name. She was super mad all the time. My mom didn't know why. My mom didn't like her. She didn't like my mom. So my mom was like, okay, let's bring her to someone who actually likes her, and then they can like be friends or something. So she gave her cats away. I think usually I would think it's cruel, but I don't think the cats are very attached to her. So good for them at this time around. But yeah, she was not Toto did not make her a cat person. Let's say that much. Like she's not a fan of him. Like he's her grandchild, and he's not her favorite.
Oh my god! Just to see that.
You should have seen
Cat brings
Toto
a
with
mouse.
Peter, Packbull. First time he came to my place, my cat, beds on the floor, mind you, mattresses on the floor, a window right above the mattress. He stood on the window bench and tried to shit on his head. Like he genuinely like put his ass over the
Oh
window
my
bench and
gosh.
tried. And the only reason why he didn't hit Peter is because I woke up at that time and I pulled Peter away and he started shitting. This guy.
That was
That was insane. That was Peter's first experience. And he stayed. He didn't leave. Peter still stayed around. I think he even likes Soto. I hope he
Really?
likes Soto. But like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is crazy. When that happened to you during stream, did that clip you made, did that video?
That's a clip that made it on YouTube. Somebody re-uploaded it as well. It was also on live stream failed.
Mm,
It got a lot of traction. But
I
because someone
bet.
else re-uploaded it, no one knew who I was. There was no watermark or anything. So I couldn't get the cloud from it.
Oh,
Unlucky. That's pretty funny.
wow. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, because you things that go on during streams is so wild. I mean, just one clip at all it takes to
Yeah.
go viral.
You have to get really lucky though.
Yeah, you got to be very, very lucky.
And you have to kind of know how to ride the wave because there's a lot of things that are like one-hit wonders, one clip
Mhm.
and then you're gone. What I really like is that one streamer, she has a dog, like a wiener dog called P.
Mm.
And the dog went viral because the dog just keeps standing on her back feet. And it became a meme called Mother, I Must Go Vertical. And I think that's just one great example because she made that meme go bigger than it was. She she like really knew how to market it.
Mm.
So she taught the dog, I think, the trick to stay vertical. You know what I mean? Like she made the dog stand more often.
Wow.
And got more traction from that. So smart. And the dog is so great. Now she only does content with her dog. She has a dog bed in the back of her camera now. The dog even got buttons to push now when she plays video games.
Really?
Yeah. Such a smart woman. Business decision.
Yeah.
Made right. Yeah.
Got to take advantage at that moment. Something happens, just take advantage and do something with it. As for Osmond Go, that guy's crazy. I mean, he's just totally crazy. But it's unfortunate. I mean, you think of War of the Warcraft, you think of him.
When I think of World of Warcraft, I think of who's the best World of Warcraft player? Like Now is a great World of Warcraft streamer. Super normal guy. Not unshowered. Like showers daily, I think. So these kind of people deserve the love, the World of Warcraft connection a lot more.
Yeah.
I think nowadays he's not even doing World of Warcraft anymore. He's kind of like a reaction/variety streamer, right? Like he's just completely shifted away from it.
Yeah, a lot of them turned to do variety streaming. Summit 1G, same thing, because everybody knows Summit because of Counter-Strike. And now he's just streaming everything. He plays every game out there and doesn't care. Just wants to have fun.
It's a smart move.
Yeah, it is a smart move because certain games, I have friends that are pro players in Halo, and now Halo is completely dead. There's no more, tournaments. There's no more pro league into it. There's no competitions involved. They're out of it. They're done. So I told them, what are you going to do now? Oh, we're going to try. Some of them tell me, oh, I'm going to try Apex because we could play Apex. So you got to do something because how are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to pay your stuff,
Yeah.
You got to do something. That's crazy. That's crazy. A lot of these young guys, and I tell them, dude, if something doesn't really big happen that makes you go viral, then you're going to have to think about studying, going back to school, because esports in general, is a very tough business to get into and to sustain, to get a career. I mean, it is what it is. And what's really shocking to me that certain people, they just was something very small happens to them, it goes so viral, they become very famous and popular just over one little thing. You know how Summit kind of what made him go really viral? was that he was in a tournament. He won the match. He killed everybody. And I think he had to defuse a bomb or something. And then he threw a grenade and killed himself. And people were like, what the heck you just did? And I think it was a grenade that had fire or something. And he walked over it and just died. People are like, are you kidding me? You won. You just died. Just for that, blew up. Went
Yeah.
all over. And with
I
Kyson,
mean,
it's that little mouse. So it's just like, just one little thing could just make you go
I
go
think for
viral.
Speed it was also a little thing. It was like a little small $3 donation or something that made Speed go viral, like an actual text-to-speech donation.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't know that. Something like that. Yeah.
And in Germany, you got a lot of canceled creators because last year someone did a €2.50 donation for one streamer called Moki. And
Mm.
she basically started the biggest expose apocalypse in YouTube Germany. And like 20 biggest OG creators that you've known since childhood, like people who've been on the space for 10 years, the biggest of the biggest in Germany, they all got canceled. Like people came out and they all got canceled for like because of a €2.50 donation.
What?
Everyone got canceled. People came out themselves and canceled themselves before other people could do it. It got so bad. My favorite creator canceled himself. Horrible. It was
Really?
wild, and since I'm working in influencer management, I had to keep up with the news. So my calls with my German colleague were like, "Oh, did you see this and this guy got canceled? Yeah, so we can't like book him for campaigns for at least 2 months." You know what I mean? Like we had to like every single day, we had like a checklist of new names that canceled themselves, like big names, like Unge. He was like the biggest German reaction streamer. He started reaction streams in Germany. No one else did it before him. He made them big. Tadl, one of the biggest German YouTubers and rappers, like music artists. He does good songs. You should listen to him. TJ Beast Boy. He canceled himself because he thought he was a dickhead. And just on and on, like big names that I've watched since I was a child. It was crazy.
Wow. So they're just canceling themselves because some laws are.
One girl got a €2.50 donation. She got mad because someone was like asking, why aren't you doing something with this streamer anymore? When is your next stream with that person? She exploded. She said, I will never do anything with this person again. She's a horrible person. Multiple people came out to say the same thing about that person. Her name was Annie the Duck. She fired back at Moki. Moki was the streamer that got the donation. And then Moki fired back at her again. Like they were like just fighting each other. Someone else came in and said, I hate that lady. And then someone else came in, yeah, you might hate that lady, but you are also a horrible person. And then it was just like a chain reaction of people getting canceled.
Oh, wow.
Like if you opened your mouth in any of these cancel videos, someone else came out and canceled you. That was a wild time.
Yeah.
It slowed down this year, but last year was insane.
Wow. All for giving an opinion.
All for a €2.50 donation. Talk about butterfly effect, you know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That is crazy, Abbie.
Yeah.
Abbie, you're doing the right thing. You're smart. You're in the correct industry right now and what you're doing. I'm so happy for you.
Me too. And I think I found a really good one. I see a lot of agencies a little shady and not so nice to each other. My
Correct.
agency's like family. We love each other.
Amen. And it's so good because when you're working in an industry or in a company that you just feel like your family is the best because you're happy to go to work.
Yeah.
You're happy to go to work. But when you go to work and you're just like, oh, this is another day, another paycheck, another dollar, I got to make the money, but you just don't love it, it's different.
You'll burn out so fast. Yeah.
Yeah, you burn out. You're not happy. But when you're working someplace that you love and you enjoy, that the managers and your bosses treat you like family, forget it. You go to the ends of the world for this company. And it's so good. That's awesome. Abbie, I'm proud of you.
Private
Yeah.
views. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Branched out so good.
Abbie, I want to thank you so much for taking this time to be on the pod. I want you to give everybody your socials.
Yeah, I'm an ambassador for Charlotte Tilbury, but it's like a huge gaming program. I think a lot of streamers can just sign up and become an ambassador in the programs. It's really cool if you're into makeup. But honestly, shout out to Method for being the coolest esports org out there by far, 10 times. Scott, great guy. Everyone should give Method some love, and they should. They deserve it because they are such kind people, and they don't have the good best reputation anymore, but like they deserve to get it back. Like they worked hard to rebuild their whole brand after a couple of years of hardship, and now they're top 3 in the entire world when it comes to World of Warcraft, and I think that's a huge achievement. And obviously they make the best looking jerseys, so great. Thank you, Method. Shout out to Method. And my socials are Abbie EUW, ABBIEEUW on everything.
There you go, folks. Well, Abbie, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure. It won't be the first nor the last. I'll make sure to bring you back
Pinky
sometime
promise.
soon. Yeah, it was fun, right? Relaxing. It was good. Okay. Okay, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Till next time, God bless. Peace.
Thank you for listening to this episode on the Rascals Lounge podcast, and please don't forget to follow us on X and on your favorite podcast platform.